Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to be solving an ant riddle. But before we do that, remember to hit the like button for more videos just like this one. Also, stick around till the end if you want to see some extra experiments. We have ants versus the maze. A new study shows that ants are capable of remembering smells for up to a year. That means that if an ant were to travel to a new location, it would be able to find its way back home even after a year had passed since it was there last. This is because ants have a special ability to remember the scent of their colony mates, and they use this scent to navigate. So if an ant were to get lost, it could use its sense of smell to track down other ants from its colony and ask them for directions home. In this experiment, researchers placed food at one end of a maze and watched as ants from different colonies raced to find it. Some of the ants were successful in finding the food, while others got lost along the way. However, when the researchers repeated the experiment with ants that had been raised in a lab setting, they found that these ants were much more successful at finding the food. This suggests that ants are able to use their sense of smell to remember the scent of their colony mates and use that information to navigate the maze. When the ants were given a choice between two scents, they always chose the one that led to their colony mates. And they were also able to remember the scent of their colony mates for up to a year. So, what does this all mean? Well, it means that ants are pretty stinkin' smart. They're able to use their sense of smell to remember important information about their environment and use that information to help them succeed. It also means that we should probably stop underestimating ants. They may be small, but they're definitely not stupid. Speaking of being underestimated, how many human brains does it take to change a light bulb? Just one. And yet, sometimes it takes a team of human brains to come up with innovative ideas. Now it's your turn. How many ant brains does it take to change a light bulb? Leave your answer in the comments section below. If you guessed 1, 2, or even 3, you'd be wrong. It actually takes an entire ant colony working together to change a light bulb. This is because ants are highly organized creatures that live in colonies with a strict social hierarchy. Each ant has a specific role to play in the colony, and they all work together to ensure the survival of the colony as a whole. For example, there are worker ants who go out and forage for food. There are soldier ants who defend the colony against predators. And there are queen ants whose job it is to lay eggs and grow the colony. This level of organization and cooperation is what allows ant colonies to achieve such incredible feats. As a matter of fact, ants have been observed using tools, building dams, and even farming their own food. All of these behaviors require a high level of intelligence and planning. So next time you see an ant, remember that it may be small, but it's definitely not stupid. It's hard to imagine how tiny little ants can carry heavy objects many times their size, but they do it all the time. In fact, some species of ants are capable of carrying prey that weighs up to 50 times their own body weight. Imagine if humans had the same strength. We'd be able to lift up cars and houses with ease. But how do they do it? Well, it turns out that ants have a few tricks up their tiny sleeves. First, they have a very strong bite force for their size. This helps them to hold on to their prey as they carry it back to their nest. Additionally, ants are also able to increase the amount of force they can exert by using their legs as levers. By positioning their legs in a certain way, they're able to amplify the force they can produce with their muscles, allowing them to carry heavier loads. Finally, ants also have a special trick for carrying their dead mates to their graves. They form a pheromone trail leading to the gravesite, and then each ant takes a little bite out of the dead ant and passes it on to the next ant. This way, no single ant has to carry the entire weight of their dead mate. In addition to their physical strength, ants also have a number of adaptations that help them to survive in a wide range of environments. For example, some ants are able to produce their own venom, which they use to defend themselves against predators or to kill their prey. Other ants have developed symbiotic relationships with other organisms, such as aphids. Aphids produce a substance called honeydew that ants are very fond of. In exchange, ants will protect the aphids from predators and even carry them around with them so they can access new food sources. Some ants have also learned to use tools. For example, some species of ants have been observed using leaves as umbrellas to shield themselves from rain or as boats to float across bodies of water. These are just a few examples of the amazing adaptations that ants have evolved over millions of years that allow them to thrive in almost any environment. From their incredible strength to their symbiotic relationships with other organisms, ants are truly fascinating creatures. So, the next time you see an ant, take a moment to appreciate the amazing adaptations that allow these tiny insects to survive and thrive all around us. Speaking of thriving, I think it's time we took a look at some more videos. So remember to hit the like button if you're enjoying the content, because you never know where we might show up next. This is a true story about a boy named Philip who went missing in the woods. When the police arrived at the scene, they found his bike abandoned near a tree. At first, they thought he must have fallen and hit his head, causing him to wander off and become disoriented. But there was no sign of a struggle and no blood anywhere. The officers searched for the missing boy for hours, but it was no use. They finally gave up when the sun began to set. As darkness fell, the forest came alive with the sound of crickets and owls hooting in the distance. Suddenly, one of the officers heard a faint scratching sound coming from inside the hollowed-out trunk of a tree. He shone his flashlight inside the hole and couldn't believe his eyes. There was Philip sitting inside the tree with a bunch of ants crawling all over him. The ants had carried him into the tree and were now protecting him with their own bodies. The boy was taken out of the tree and examined. It turned out that he had wandered off on his own and gotten lost. The ants must have found him lying on the ground and decided to help him. The officer who found Philip in the tree said it was one of the most amazing things he'd ever seen. But why did the ants protect him? Normally, ants don't interact with humans unless they feel threatened, but something must have made them think that Philip needed their help. Maybe they saw that he was hurt, or maybe they sensed that he was scared and alone. Whatever the reason, their instincts told them to help him, and they did. Philip was reunited with his grateful parents, and the ants got back to their busy lives. To this day, no one knows for sure why the ants protected Philip, but it's a good reminder that even the smallest creatures can be incredibly helpful, and that sometimes all you need is a little help from your friends. You see, ants are known for their ability to work together as a team. They're also known for their bravery and their determination. But what really makes ants so special is their sense of community. Ants live in colonies with their fellow ants, and they take care of each other and their colony mates. They share food and resources, and they defend each other from danger. Ants are loyal to each other, and they'll stick up for each other no matter what. They're also very determined. They never give up in the face of obstacles, and they always keep trying until they succeed. This is what makes ants so amazing. They're tiny creatures, but they have big hearts. They're brave, loyal, and determined, and they're always willing to help each other out. Now, I want you to think about a time when you had to work with others to achieve a common goal. What did you learn from that experience? How did it make you feel? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you've enjoyed today's videos, then you're gonna love our podcast. We discuss the science behind some of nature's most amazing animals, including ants. You'll learn about their incredible abilities, their unique adaptations, and the amazing things they can accomplish. So if you love learning about ants and other amazing creatures, then be sure to check it out. You can listen to it anywhere you get your podcasts.